you looking for the best ways to get started playing tennis? Well, in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 of the most common ways people get started and the order that I would do to save money and maximize your results. What's up guys, Zach here with the Grow Tennis Network, and on this channel we're serving up easy and affordable ways to get more players mastering their fundamentals. Now let's go ahead and get into the top 5 ways that most people start playing, and then we're going to get into a little bit more detail on which one I would do first and why I would do that. Number 1, the internet. And because you're watching this video right now, you're in the right place. Number 2, calling friends or family members so that you can go out and play at the courts with a partner. Number 3, you can take tennis lessons by finding a local professional to teach you. Number 4, find a wall or backboard that you can practice against on your own. And number 5, look for a club or a park that has a ball machine for you to rent. So all of these ways can be really helpful. But when you're just starting out, I think that there's a better way to do it so that you're saving money and you're really taking the time to build better fundamentals. So the first thing that I would do is go online and do my research. And there's a ton of information out there for players that already know how to play and tips and tricks to have more spin or more power. But there's not a lot of information on beginner tennis and really building great fundamentals. And that leads me to my second point, and that's getting against a wall or backboard. And the reason I like the wall so much is because it's always there, meaning it has a predictable schedule. It always brings the ball back to you and it rarely misses. The other thing I love about the wall is that it's instant feedback. So when you send it, it's going to instantly go and reflect back. So if you're doing something wrong, you're immediately going to know. And the best part about the wall is that it won't get mad at you. It's going to stay there patiently and allow you to keep practicing without you having to feel pressured to do better. And it's going to give you the time that you need to really see better control and better results. Now there are some really good ways and some really bad ways to practice against the wall. So I'm going to link up a whole playlist right here in the cards and the video description below. The next thing I would do is look for a local professional that you can pay for lessons. And the reason tennis pros can help you is because they have really good control and they're going to be able to send the ball to you in a controlled environment, meaning it's going to be a little bit more predictable for you, and that will allow you to take the time to focus on one thing at a time. Whereas if you go out with friends or family, they probably aren't going to have as much control as your local pro. So you're going to be spending a lot of time chasing and scrambling after the shots that they're hitting, and by doing so, you're more than likely going to be developing some really bad habits and doing more harm than good. However, I don't think that taking tennis lessons first is always the way to go, because a pro is going to do a really good job of teaching you the technique, and they're going to be able to hit it to you while you practice your technique. But a large component of tennis is the athleticism and the movement. That's why I suggest starting with the wall, because it's going to allow you the time to get to know the bounce and to get familiar with the trajectory and the movement that it takes to be able to control the ball. And if you take the time to figure this stuff out first, then when you take that lesson, you're really going to be able to cover a lot of material and get your money's worth. The next thing I would do is take the techniques and the material you learned in the lesson, and then I would look for a ball machine someplace. Now, a ball machine will cost a little bit of money, but it's far less money than a private tennis lesson. And what I like about this is that you can control the height, the speed, and the placement of where the ball's coming. So that will allow you to really set in and focus on one thing so that you can take the time to master what you learned in your lesson and apply what you've also learned on the wall. And the last thing I think you should do is just go out with another person and try playing. And the reason for that is you're going to be developing a lot of bad habits by just chasing after the ball. And from my experience, it's a lot more fun once you know how to do it and once you've taken the time to develop that control. And because of this, you're going to be able to have longer rallies, get better exercise, and start thinking a little bit more about strategy. Now, if you do have a son or daughter, or maybe a friend or family family member that you want to get out and play with, then you should. And if that's the case, you should watch the playlist for practicing with the partner. And it goes through a ton of great progressions that will help you practice with the purpose and really fine-tune your fundamentals. So what are your tips on getting better on a budget? Let us know in the comment section below. Until next time, remember to stay positive, keep practicing, and you will see results.